Hi, this is Osman. I'm an energy healer, yoga and meditation teacher, and an entrepreneur. Please be sure to visit my website, yogawellness786.com, for more information, resources, and current day discussions on topics relevant to trending subject matters and of great interest to people of today. And these topics are usually discussed and updated on almost a daily basis. Today I want to come on my opinion that fast food is not harmful, right? So this is something most people afraid to go and consume fast foods, and all the scientific information and the media stating that fast foods are extremely harmful. So fast food form part of the food industry, and the food industry cannot allow something which is poisonous, or holistically poisonous, to be sold to the public at large. And especially when it comes to major fast food chains which have an international presence, there are so many boards that govern the food industry in so many different countries that they have to pass so many stringent tests before it is accepted and allowed to trade in the various countries. So is there harmful elements in fast foods? So what are the harmful elements, and what is the problem, or what is the good of fast food? So firstly, fast foods needs to be tasty, right? It needs to be appetizing, and it must also be presented in a manner that is going to cause the customer to continuously come again and again, right? So it can't be something that's distasteful. So in order to make it tasty, they have to have the right recipe and combination of additives, and usually the key elements or the basic elements, very broadly speaking, right, that helps give taste to food, coming from the three broad categories of sugar, fat, and salt, right? So can you stop eating salt and eat saltless food? I mean, how will life be without salt? So when they come to salt, it's not only mentioning the sodium chloride or the pure salt or table salt, but also including certain spices that is included under the salt category, that has some laboratory chemical additives that enhances the taste and increases the you know the appetizing effect of the food, and which creates pathways in your brain that makes it addictive, to some degree. But to use the word addictive so broadly and is not safe, because addiction is something very different, where it causes a major problem in your social structure, in your relationships, in the way in which you think. It affects the way in which you think, and affects your ability and capacity to earn an income, and is life threatening, right, and destroys you. So we can't say fast food is in that category. So yes, they say the vegetable oils are dangerous, which it is, right? So we also are humans that are living in a world, a practical world, where food is no longer simply a fuel for the metabolic functioning of your body, because then you might as well get all the important ingredients, blend it in a smoothie and drink it, right? But you need some variety and taste, and also food is also got some level of comfort in it, although we can't say that it's healthy to rely on food solely for comfort, but it adds. If you're feeling down and not feeling good, and you had a good meal, you tend to feel good after that, well nourished, and also something delicious it brings pleasure to the mind, right? So this is being practical. So what one needs to do, just this is my opinion. I'm not a scientist. I'm not a a medical doctor. But from my perspective of being, a wellness professional, right? More than coming close, well over 4 decades, in coaching people to improving the lifestyle habits, the exercise habits, and nutrition habits. I'm giving my opinion from that perspective, and also my maturity in the wellness industry, and my observations of standard day-to-day life. You should follow a balanced approach and try to keep your fast foods or your pleasure foods to, or preserved foods or highly processed foods, to between 20 and 30%. If you could ideally keep it to 20% and keep healthier alternatives, right, the best that you possibly can, attain, and ideally, whole foods, prepared, home cooked meals, right? Ideally, right? And avoiding, frozen foods and preserved foods as far as possible, that to be 80%. And try to find some type of balance within your circumstances and situations where you are reducing, the fast food, and where there are some cases where you have no option, but the only source of nourishment is fast foods for you. Then which fast foods you choose, and there is various choices in every fast food franchise. You can have a middle ground in your choices, right? And choose what makes sense to you, to go closer towards something that is going to be less harmful for you, and also working in conjunction with your doctor, right, who will have an understanding of your metabolic and physiological processes, right, your physiology and your metabolic processes, and what are your labs results, in terms of the red markers that are indicators for serious possible chronic illnesses, or life-threatening ailments. So if you go for regular checkups and do some general checks, these can be averted, and the doctor can inform you what exactly the problem areas here and what exactly you should avoid. So as opposed to avoiding all fast food, maybe you just need to avoid certain parts or certain specific items only, and that is relevant to you specifically. So hope that helps you. Be sure to visit my website, yogawellness786.com, and take care of yourself always.